As a police officer, one of the most nerve-wracking things you can hear come out over the radio is, "Send me back up. I've got one at gunpoint." This is the Warrior Podcast, episode 88. Let's talk about those situations in life where it is dire that you need backup. So, you know, in any situation, there's going to be times where things are going pretty easy in life, right? You don't need a lot of assistance, or we think we don't. And so we can handle it. That's kind of our attitude. Well, I got this part. It's not a big deal. Any issues or problems we have, we think, oh, I can handle this one. As long as it stays within this basic parameter, I'll be able to handle it by myself. I don't really need any assistance, right? I can do this solo. Here's the issue. The beauty about being a kingdom warrior, having God's Spirit in us, is that we're never alone. Do you realize that? That you, from that moment on, are never alone. The Spirit is fused to you. That's how Jesus says, I will never leave you or forsake you. See, even in the Old Testament, God talks about in the Psalms how he goes before, he's after, and he's kind of all around. So it's almost like a 360-degree perimeter all the time around his people. And we lose sight of that. We think sometimes that we're alone when in reality we're really not alone. And we look at certain circumstances as if we'll wait until it gets really serious before we call on heaven for assistance. But in reality, God wants to be involved in everything. He wants to be a backup at all times to where you're never alone. I mean, you're not alone, but he wants you to call on him in everything, in all things, and to be thankful for it. Understanding that it's only through his grace, the unmerited favor that he gives you, that you're able to do whatever it is you're doing. And this seems like a no-brainer. I mean, we all kind of know this in our heads, but practically we don't live this way. We wait until things get really bad before we call on heaven. Here's my recommendation. Here's what I've been working on, me personally, is to always have God in an ongoing conversation. It helps me to realize that he's always with me. Now, occasionally you'll be in your car and you'll be talking if nobody's there, and then other people will look at you and go like, who's this guy talking to? One, it's none of their business who I'm talking to. But if they want to know, I'll let them know. And that needs to be our attitude. That needs to be my attitude all the time. And here's the funny thing. God has a way of allowing certain aspects of life to get to the point where you need to call on him. And pretty soon, those get shorter and shorter to where hopefully we do it more often, and we realize that even in the most simplest of circumstances, we need backup. See, in our mind, we want to wait until we've got somebody at gunpoint before we need assistance. But in reality, God lets us know that apart from him, we can do nothing. So there's your thought for the day, is don't wait until things get so dire that it's obvious that you need backup, but understand that God is always with you and he fuses his Spirit to you because he empowers you. He walks with you. He guides you. He comforts you. And this is, frankly, super empowering, super comforting. He's the comforter. To know this fact and to walk in this fact and see how it changes your day, to realize that the Lord is with you no matter where you go or what you do. Call on him, for we're called by his name. All right, as always, you're a warrior designed for glory. Call on him. Stay in the fight. As always, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll continue to put the content out. God be with you. Peace.